Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the respected dignitaries, distinguished speakers, honorable participants, and the loving audience, all beautiful people present here from all around the globe. I'm Miss Nada Ratkovic, IIU board member, country director, IIU Croatia, president of Research Center, IIU. Welcome you all to the second IIU Europe International Conference on New Vision for European Teachers in Education, the event for all the educators around the globe organized by International Internship University, IIU Europe, the first global virtual university offering quality, accessible, location, independent, and skill-based education around in all areas. Today, IIU Europe is all geared up to share knowledge and revolutionize the education under the strong leadership of our Europe head, Ms. Inga Karchilova. Europe is one of the world's most exciting continents, which offers world-class education and research. I'm pleased and honored to present our organizer. International Internship University is a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well-reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to provide better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. IIU is metamorphosing the conventional education system by cutting down the additional costs and providing access to more than 1,000 plus courses and internships to the e-learners across the globe with the help of its thousands plus global educators. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, Sir, a committed and ensuring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades providing education to the students from various school and cultural backgrounds. The sky is the limit for his dedication and hard work. IIU has formed its 4 councils, namely Women Entrepreneurs Council, International Student Development Council, International Youth Development Council, International Council of Educators. The main objective behind the councils is to provide support in every respect to the students, youths, women, entrepreneurs, and educators. IIU is coming with the biggest knowledge exchange program called BICAP. All the students are invited to be a part of it. IIU has started the membership drive for the International Student Development Council. Registrations are open. Be the change with IIU. Today, many European countries offer excellent opportunities for living, traveling, and working. Education, as we all know, plays a vital, a crucial role in the economic and social context of Europe. Across the continent, there are multitude of different education systems, each with their own attitudes and approaches to educate their population. For students, Europe is a very attractive destination, and it is thanking to its well-deserved reputation as a hub of academic excellence. Today, experience a world-class higher education in Europe and all benefits from an extensive choice of bachelor's, master's degree courses, doctoral study programs, and more. Europe is ready to share knowledge and revolutionize education with Europe head Dr. Inga Karchilova from Georgia. It's my honor to introduce her. Dr. Inga Karchilova is a IIU Europe head, country director, IIU Georgia, IIU board member. She's a project director of the conference. And as I said at the beginning, this is the second conference of IIU Europe. Welcome, Dr. Inga, IIU Head of the Europe.
Welcome, welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my lovely people. Yes, I'm Inga Khachilova from Georgia. Today we have another important conference with the participation of European teachers. Today they will offer interesting and important presentation and will speak in an inspiring way. We are together and share the light of knowledge in society. We are a part of IIU, yes, International Internship University. Thank you very much. This is really very important day for us. EU is a unique combination of traditional and modern methods of education. Europe is there to revolution, knowledge sharing and education. Good luck, everyone. Many thanks to all today's speakers who are ready to share their knowledge and new vision with us. We appreciate this gesture. Thank you very, very much. Many thanks to the founder of IIU, Mr. Piyush Pandit, for this opportunity. We really appreciate your 24-hour hard work, sir. God bless you. Many thanks to all participants who support and are with us today. And now, many thanks to your wonderful moderator, Professor Dr. my best friend, Nada Ratkovic from Croatia, who is always with us and brightens up our conference, really. Thank you. Okay, well, now I want to wish everyone success. I declare the conference open. Go ahead. Congratulations and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Dr. Inga, IIU Head Europe, for addressing us and our audience with your speech. Our Dr. Inga is from Europe, the country Georgia. She's an educator, she's a teacher of geography, she's an entrepreneurship and a leader, educator, international speaker, ambassador. And I can say that she is a great person. So today, explore diverse languages and cultures in a welcoming social environment. Gain international experience, skills, and knowledge. Each speaker will be the representative of his own country, and he will share the actual and factual insights of education on the different topics. Today, be ready to be a part of this amazing conference. I welcome our eminent speakers of the day, our 11 renowned speakers from 11 countries. So it's my honor and pleasure to invite our first speaker. Our first speaker is Dr. Alisa Durgaryan. Dr. Alisa Durgaryan is coming from Armenia. She is a ESL, EFL, ESP trainer, teacher, global educator, and international speaker. PhD at Armenian State University. She has MAS in the fields of psychology and foreign languages. She is an ESL teacher at the basic school and a teacher trainer in many countries. She has taken part in many different international conferences as a speaker, and she is fighting for the lifelong education. I welcome our great Dr. Alisa Durgaryan from Armenia. Dr. Alisa, you are welcome. Our Dr. Alisa is here, but I don't know. Maybe something isn't okay with her. Dr. Alisa? Okay, she's here, but she can't join us. See. So we are going to our next speaker, who is coming from a beautiful country. Who is coming from a beautiful country, Romania. He is Mihail Alexander Stanescu, a student computer science at the Bachelor University Polytechnic Bucharest, Romania, multiple international medalist in social science and environment field. One of his hobby is traveling and sustainability. Welcome, dear Sir Mikhail, to the IIU stage. We are really honored to have you today because we are monitoring your work. We are listening you, and you are an amazing science. And I see that you were participating in the Olympic with your students, and you have a lot of medals. So let enrich us with your great speech.
Hello everyone. I think you hear me first of all.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, thank you for this invitation. I see this like a big opportunity for me to develop myself and why not to learn some new perspective from others. So in other words, let's start. All right. Okay. So new vision for European teacher in Europe. Now, first of all, let's clarify what is a vision of a teacher. This type of vision helps teachers and school leaders to create a unified set of values and beliefs which drive the development of a high-performance learning culture. Something like that. For if you have a clear vision, you can break the future because, okay, we work with people, small people, adolescents, youngers, let's say, and it's very interesting to see all of these like challenges for us, and we should be a little bit patient with all of these aspects. Why we should think about future in this context? So, a vision in the future for teaching education are able to craft an ideal image of what it is to accomplish their classrooms and use this to sustain them throughout their teaching career. I'm thinking the future is unpredictable because let's try to think a little bit. 2 years ago, nobody are thinking about pandemic period. Using this, I think we develop ourselves not only like person but also using the technology. So I think we should have a clear future about what we can do better in all of these aspects. So now let's put in some context. A big context is the European context. The mission of the European schools is to provide a multilingual and multicultural education for nursery, primary, and secondary level pupils. The European school system consists of 2 years of early education, 5 years of primary, and 7 years of secondary education. It is something like that. Primary education, you should learn about basic knowledge, like how to write, how to do some basic maths. Something like that is the main part. After this, the secondary, you should develop some skills like general knowledge, geography, biology, chemistry, social science, let's say, and civil education. And after this, in many parts, people are try to study after that university, which is very important when you want to achieve something good in your career. Another interesting part, because we are talking about European field, it's Erasmus project who achieve some non-formal education because, okay, primary, secondary, and university, high school, let's say more, are using more formal education. So children, youngsters are not so open with the teachers, but in non-formal, like Erasmus project, they are a little bit more open. Now let's try to see the future in my country, Romania. So first thing which I want to talk, it's about primary education. Okay, in my country, uh, is kindergarten, let's say, is started at 4 years. For the entire public school, it's free. The kids don't pay anything and have some basic education, like how to write some symbols and also how to socialize with another children with the same ages. And the school started in September and finished in June. Another one, it's about middle education. So after 4 years of primary education, pupils move on to gymnasium, where for the first time they receive exact marks are opposite than the grades. I think, for example, when I was in this step, it was very interesting because before this, I take marks like good, very well, sufficient, or insufficient. After that, I started to take 9, 10, sometimes 7, and I was something like that. Okay, so where is the sufficient for me? It's enough for me, I think, because I'm a child and I know I had enough. But this, it was for me like a challenge to develop and develop myself until to bring the maximum persona of mine. Okay, some more theoretical stuff, let's say. Okay, there are multiple teachers and 5 days per week and try to learn general basic skills. After that comes in parallel after middle education, if you want and don't want to follow high school, it's vocational education. I think it's a little bit interesting because, okay, maybe I don't like very much to learn history of geography, to be more specialized. But I should try to adapt to live. For this, they are very important in my opinion, because you learn about, let's say, how to make a table, how to make a chair, how to try to make something construction. And we can see it's very important also today to know all of these practical skills. And not the least, tertiary education like universities, where people, not only children or youngsters, try to be more specialized in one field, like technical, or why not in scientific area. So using something like this, now it depends. For example, in my country, I'm studying engineering profile. I study 4 years. I understood before 10 years ago, it was 5 years. But for theoretical universities, they are only for 3 years. I think it's good enough this type of years because there are a lot of new things which you should understand better. Now, some expectations. First of all, it's about smoothing. In my country, it's a little bit a problem about rural education and urbanization education. So an expectation is to try to smoothing, or let's say uniform, to become more uniform the level, because something like that from rural arriving to urban, so it's a, let's say, brain drain, and it's not very good for the economy because people are going from rural and there sometimes there are nobody there, and it's a little bit sad about this thing in my opinion. Another thing is digitalization. Okay, using pandemic period, we achieved the challenge and many people, or not only child but also people, learn how to work on a laptop or something like that. But still it is a problem because uniformization, sometimes in my country, in rural areas, it's a big problem. For example, about internet, wireless, and another things. Another good point about digitalization is the evolution of technology using why not Internet of Things. Okay. until 2 years in my country, it was a problem about to follow what your child tried to do. If they arrive to the school, or if he's in the school and not going, I don't know, to party in another part in that time of the school. Using Internet of Things, you parents can monitorize the activity of their children, and I think it's very important. Or another thing, using this type is very easier to understand the evolution of your child. So I think this is a good expectation, and let's say there's a challenge. Not at least it's about diversification, because okay, I say diversification is cool because we try to adapt, we try to understand. When it is in code, it's very important to understand the others, but also it's very important to be understood by the others. So in my opinion, this challenge can be achieved, for example, using something which is in the present Erasmus Plus projects, because they promote culturalization, diversity, and a lot of things. It's not only about ethnicity, it's about, as we can see in this picture, about people with problem which should be adapted in that type of environmental. So this challenge, I think it can be very well in the future. Thanks for your audience. And in 20 seconds, I can show you some examples from Erasmus project, something like that, because there you can make a lot of things like public speaking, so you develop yourself, and also you can make practical workshop. Okay, it's not like vocational, what I say earlier, but it's something like that. You can using recycling or upcycling and make things like table chairs or toys, which after project can be donated to poor families. So it is like a win-to-win contract, because you learn about how to make all of this, but also you have the community. So this was my presentation. Thanks again for your audience. And if you have questions, I'm open for the Q&A session.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Mikhail. Thank you for your great presentation, for presenting the education system in your country, Romania. You really explained it, and we now knew all how it is going in Romania. I can say that in all countries which are the part of the European Union, the education is the same. And I want to say something when you talk about vocational education. Today, for me, very important in Europe is vocational education. And because today you need to brush your skills. Today, it is only not the theory. We need a practice. In the vocational education, you really have a finished product. You have a product, you have a beautician, you have any of them has a good product, and only on that way can Europe make advancements in growing in industry and in production. So we are having a lot of changes in the curriculum. We are changing in the modular curriculum, and there will be it will be the system just like on the university very soon. Thank you. We wish
Good
you
point. Yeah, thanks also.
we wish you all the best because you are a great. We really appreciate your science and your choice of the education, and we are sure that you will help many students in Romania, and not only in Romania, but all around the globe. And we are really thankful that you are today with us. Like a presenter
Thank you
of
also.
youth of EU.
Yes, really, really very interesting and very inspiring presentation. Thank you very much, Mr. Mikhail. Please keep up a wonderful job and congratulations. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you also. Thank you.
Perfect job. Okay.
So now from Romania, we are going in United Kingdom. We have a spiritual coach, an award-winning empowerment coach, a great woman, Christina Konya. She is award-winning international speaker, author, and success leader. She is deeply a passionate person who believes that we are all designed for greatness and can be successful in all areas of our life. The first step in achieving success today is to unleash the power of self love and know ourselves well. Two, if we don't know ourselves, we will not understand who we are. And it is really crucial in our journey. So, from learning all of this, we can build up successful business from the heart and live a happy life. She has a great academic background with a bachelor degree in business management and NLP practitioner certificate from Spiritual Coach Woman Empowerment Coach. Her mission is to encourage women to find the path towards empowerment, help them hold a space for them to achieve, giving them some of the most valuable and practical tools that help the personality with the journey toward self development, self love, growth, and fulfillment. She does this through workshops, one on one, and group coaching, speaking, and retreats. Miss Christina, we are really honored to have you here today, like a representative of the United Kingdom. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It was a really nice presentation of me. I was thinking, who is the woman you are talking about? Thank you very much. I would love to first thank you for the invitation to be a speaker at your conference. Thank you for the International Internship University. And it is interesting to be here and talking about the new vision for European teachers in education, because I myself studied in 3 different countries. I was born in Romania, so I am very familiar with the Romanian educational system. I lived 14 years in Hungary. I know the Hungarian educational system because I went to school there and I finished university in the United Kingdom. So I can really see what's going on. Also, right now, I'm working with adults who come to me in not good mental health, let's put this way, because there are some really basic things what we are not taught at school. And I'm going to make in 7 points what, in my opinion, it would be really necessary to introduce in schools from the early age up to the universities, of course, based on their age level of their level of knowledge. First, I would suggest to introduce number one, mindset and creativity. We are so much focused on fixed mindset where we teach our children to compete with one another. This is what we do instead of encouraging them to compete with only one person, with themselves, and encouraging the others, uplifting one another. Unfortunately, this is going on in the schools right now, maybe not consciously. They need to have the desire to learn, but we put them in classrooms. It's like when we put them in our boxes. I would bring them out in nature to have classes, build a classroom in the nature, outside in the garden, in the playground, because kids, this is how they learn the fastest. They learn while they are playing, especially at the nursery and on primary phases. Then we know that knowledge is limited, really, but imagination is limitless. And our children had a huge imagination. And we adults, when we put them in a box, we kind of limit them. We say, okay, this is what you need to learn. And they memorize it very well because they have really good memories. But on the moment when this is not interesting for them or they don't like it, in a month or two, they will forget what we told them. And they will only remember what they really like to do. Then I would love to teach children about how to maintain healthy relationships. Sure, We do have sexual education in some classrooms, in some countries. I'm not really sure if in all the countries in Europe we do have these things. But I'm asking you, do we really teach them about healthy relationships? Yes, we have sexual education in UK from the primary stages really, but we do not teach them what a healthy relationship means. We do not teach them how to love themselves first, how to respect themselves, thus how to respect and love others. We do not teach them about family dynamics. I would teach them about family dynamics. Of course, here we have to take in consideration the cultural beliefs, also how they grow up in the family. But I think it is really, really important for them to know how a healthy relationship looks like. Then we do not teach them how to manage their finances. Our generation, my generation, I can say that we are financial illiterate. We do not know, we haven't been taught how to manage our finances. Yes, we teach them about budgeting and cash books, but I think it would be really important to teach from the early ages children how to save money, how to invest, for example, how the credit cards work, or how to avoid debt. Because if you do not learn this at school and nobody teaches you at home because they don't know either, then they become adults and they cannot handle their finances. They will go in debt. They will, and this will really, really bring, a lot of issues in families when they are adults and in their personal lives as well. They don't know how insurance works. I've never been taught in any of the countries where I've been how insurance works. I had no idea. I was a grown up and I didn't know what's life insurance, what's car insurance, what's the house. So I would introduce insurance as well. Then I would love to introduce and teach them life skills, entrepreneurship, for example. Because what we do right now is that we teach them how to be a good lawyer, how to be a good doctor, because only this is how they can survive and they can be someone in society. But the reality is, yes, we do need doctors. Yes, we do need lawyers and people working in IT because this is very, very important. But on the same time, we need people who are creative. They open their own businesses. And you've been talking a little bit earlier about vocational training. Yes, kids, they don't like to do vocational trainings anymore because it's not trendy. But I'm asking you, who is going to do the farming? Who is going to run the beauty salons? Who is going to build the buildings if everybody is going to be a doctor or a lawyer? So we have to teach our children that not only being a doctor and a lawyer will give you a place in society, but being a good farmer and managing well a farm and running a farming business, that can also bring you success. We have to let them to be creative because kids are creative and they have so many ideas, but we do not listen to them. We try to cut their wings because we adults think better what's best for them because they are kids, Though we do not teach them at this point self-care and life skills. We do not teach them stress management. They came out of school, even in the school, in Romanian schools, in UK schools. Kids are stressed because of their gradings, because how good they are doing at their sets. This not should be a life for a kid. They shouldn't worry about, I'm not having good grading, so what's going on? Because they might not be good at mathematics or chemics, but they are really good in arts or in humanity, for example, or history. We are not, we are all have our unique skills and abilities. And we shouldn't put the kids in a box and teach them everything. They don't need to know everything. Let them be creative. Let them love math. Let them love physics, what they are good at, and develop that skill. Then, because I'm a spiritual coach now, I would introduce mindfulness and meditation in schools. I would teach them to look after our planet and connecting with Mother Nature, not only bragging about the clothes, eco-friendly clothes, what they're wearing at school, and donating to a well-saving organization or well foundation, but to actually learn how to recycle, how to reduce waste, how to be responsible about responsible consumption as well. And another thing which is really missing from my point of view in the European education is the religious literacy. Yes, in some countries and in some classrooms, we do teach them about world religions, but really briefly. And when they are grown-ups and they go out in the world, they have no idea how to behave and how to accept different cultures because they were never taught at the school. And also, it's very, very important to understand that education, it starts not only in school and with the educators, because the teacher needs a teacher, but education starts at home, which means that we parents should educate first ourselves, love ourselves, being eager to be open to new things, to new views, and this is how we teach them as well. I know that my approach might be a little bit different than from a teacher who actually teaches in classroom, but this is what I experienced. This is what I'm seeing with my daughter in school. And this is may sound very simple and basic things, but introduced in schools, they will really, really, really help our children to have a brighter future, to feel safer and more supported by society and by their teachers. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate. Thank you for being here again. And if you may have any questions after the conference, I'm really open to answer them. Thank you.
We really, really enjoy
Yes.
your
Thank you.
speech, your experience, your life experience. We, everyone, see that you are an amazing coach, and
Thank you.
that can everyone cannot do that. And I like everything you say about the financial literacy, about the how to do with our children, how to be a good parent, how to educate them, because we know that really all is coming from the home. And somebody will maybe say that the parents are not the main persons, but we know that parents, we educators, we are the main persons in the life of our kids and students. And thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We can listen you till tomorrow, because the voice and the speech, and if we look from the side of psychology and or thank you, thank you, thank you
Thank you very
very
much.
much.
Really, really, thank you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Gracias.
I found I like you and I'm very happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, dear and respected Christina. We hope that we will have you very soon again. Now from United Kingdom, we are going to Ukraine. We have an amazing educator, Professor Svetlana Dankevich. Professor Svetlana Dankevich is coming from the city of Chernihiv. She graduated at the Pedagogical Institute of Physics and Mathematics and have a degree from mathematics, computer science, computer technology. I think that everyone on this global platform know our dear Professor Svetlana, because she is really disseminating the knowledge. She's making a lot of workshops from the digital technology, and she is a leader. She is leading STEM computer academy for 5 years, and she is a woman who is doing a lot with robotics, and she is teaching computer science and robotic. And I can say that I always monitor the work from our great Professor Svetlana. Professor Svetlana, welcome. The IIU stage is yours, and we are really honored to have you here today. We want to listen about the STEM education in Ukraine.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, dear educators. I'm sorry, my English.
The language is never the problem. Everything understand. We understand everything. Photo, the mimics, everything. No problem.
My name is Svetlana Dankievich. I'm from Ukraine. I live in Chernigiv town. I'm an ordinary teacher. I'm a teacher of mathematics, computer science, and robotics. I realized I love robotics 8 years. Today, very many tests in the hello world. You are teachers and you must understand our country contribution to further exist as a whole world. The basis of development and positivity in any country is education. Equality education gives an opportunity to society to develop, to arrive at the best results, to have improve life of people. Development of the world depends on development of high tech. The increase of welfare of society depends on the use of ecological technologies, bringing in of green technologies in an safety of ecology of plant. It is a sufficient amount of water and milling in the world. Exactly about such things and talk to the students. Students must study technology. Students must be on around develop and erudite, tolerant, many said. Students must know that such the dignity to respect if itself, to respect other the regardless of country, color of skin, religious taste. Student must know to understand to apply needs analysis to use to sense and estimate.
Because most of the activities are driven by technology with no human concern involved.
Yes. Every dev of technology and professionals can and must change our world in the best side. I teach students to lecture a professional that will bring pleasure. So as an enjoy working as a teacher. Three countries as the basis of quality educate, common collaboration after after teachers, of parents and students. COVID brought in the corrective in all systems of formatation of the whole world. The Ukraine teachers passed to the control world from distance studies. Teachers studies constantly courses, training, computer technologies. We without all of the use of gadgets. We use Google Class of Microsoft of Office 365. We work online in Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft of Teams, Wither, online, Sped, Menti, Padlet, Jamboard, Google.com, This is Send.com, Worldwall, Classroom Screen.com, and other. For distance studies at high-speed internet is needed in every cover of planet. For equal access to quality education, every student and teacher must have a computer on play table. Unfortunately, there are villages, cities, and countries in that are problems with the internet. War came to Ukraine. Children sat in not go to school. Many schools are damaged, studied pressed remotely. If there are the internet, no online, we can't we conducted lesson in Zoom. I'm my classroom robotics. My student have Lego education, Veda, Veda and Lego education, drone, 3D printer, student model, 3D model, and laser model, three D laser. Student working in the Tinkercad. My student Yaroslav. Sorry.
I want everyone to know what kind of teachers we have.
3D model architect. 3D model architect. My student model in Minecraft. This is Chernigiv sound. My student
Really great job.
брали
Wow.
участие, как это сказать, брали участие.
Sorry, can I help you? Могу я вам
FLL,
помогать?
FLL Olympic FLL robotics, Arduino, Lego and Veda. My student Yaroslav. Где же этот звук? I'm sorry.
No,
Светлана, если
no,
что, я могу вам
sorry. It is a
помогать.
great work by you. We are really proud on you, your students, and your work with 3D printers. You learn them how to do with the laser, how to make the Legos, how to make the robotics. You're an amazing professor. Thank you. And this competitions, Olympic competitions, and this awards and recognitions are the sign, are the result of your hard work. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, we see your Yaroslav had a gold medal. A gold medal. A gold medal is a result of your great work, Professor Svetlana.
Yes, great job. Really, congratulations, my dear friend. You are really hero teacher, hero woman. I know, Chet. Your hard work during the war. Oh my God, you are really amazing teacher. And congratulations, and I wish you many.
I have many gold students.
Yes, okay. I'm very emotional because you are really amazing. Go ahead and good luck. Keep up a wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
sorry.
No
We
sorry.
proud of you. Oh my God, no sorry.
No, sorry. We wish that the war will be finished soon, and we really are proud on you and on the hard circumstances which are going in the country for you, educator, and for your students. And we wish to all of you the best and first the safe for all of you. Thank you.
Yes. I want everyone to know Chet, kind to teacher we have. Congratulations.
Yes, because there are not a lot of women who has a specialization in this.
Yes.
Yes, and Professor Svetlana is really a unique professor who is working with the students in this field. And we all
Yes.
to thank her because her knowledge can help, and she is helping the students all around the globe. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It is.
Dear Inga, where are we going now from Ukraine? Please tell me, where are we going now? In which country?
Turkey.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. We are going
Welcome.
to Turkey. Welcome. We have an amazing English teacher from Turkey, Volkan Iner from Turkey. He is working in different private courses, private schools during the teaching years. working in a private middle school under the consultancy of the Turkey. He has hosting the teacher talks, and I'm sure that many of our participants now on the Facebook who is watching and listening knows our great Volkan, and I'm sure that participate in his teacher talks because he has Instagram live sessions for more than 2 years. He's a teacher with talk sessions, which is an online every Monday. He has different educator from different parts of the world. So we are talking about some personal, educational, and common topics. He has that and the questions and answer session. Creative English 18 on the Facebook page, Creative English, or from the YouTube page. Mr. Inner is also on the Twitter. He has reached more than 15,000 people so far, and we are really proud on your project because he is lucky. He was chosen among 50 teachers of 4,000 teachers for the Cambridge University Press Dedicated Teachers Awards. So you see how many amazing persons we have today on this second IIU Europe conference. Welcome, welcome, teacher, welcome, and enlighten us with your speech and with your knowledge.
Okay.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Clear,
Okay, wonderful.
clear.
Before starting my speech, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this conference. And also, I would like to say one more time, thank you to Dr. Inga and International University for it's a great honor to be here. And today, I'm going to talk about a very important topic. I don't have any presentations. I'm just going to talk, and so I thought that it's really important for not for educators. I think so. Let me show you something here about it. Here is it. If you see it, it's really important topic for giving. Can you see the screen? I think you can.
Yes, great.
Okay, so
Yeah.
giving voice to the students. This is really important. And I thought that it's really serious problem for all of us. And I thought that this is really important for most of us. So today I'm going to talk about it. So before starting my speech, I just wanted to ask you something. What does it mean for you giving voice to students? Can you write your ideas into the chat box, please? And like when I told you giving voice to students, what does it mean for you? Just one, you can write a word or you can write a sentence. I just wonder. Okay, nice, thank you. Listening to their opinions as well. Listen to their ideas, involve them in creating the curriculum. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So maybe one or two more ideas. Can I get it? Okay. So before that, I would just wanted to talk about what's the student's voice. Let's talk about this. The student's voice, like in education, the concept of the student voice is like let them communicate. All that. Thank you very much. All your answers. And the concept of the student voice is twofold. Like it refers to the expressions of values and opinions and beliefs, like and perspectives of individuals and groups of students in a school, and to instructional approach, like and techniques that are, like say, the based on students' choices, interests, and passions, and also ambitions, we can say, and listening to and acting on students' preferences and interests and perspectives help students feel like invested in their own learning and can ignite passion that will increase their persistence. And also this is what student voice, I can say clearly. And also, I think Christina says allow them to question everything and have their own opinion. Yeah, thank you, thank you. But why is it important for students to have a voice? This is really important point. Research indicates that students, this is important, students who believe they have a voice in school are 7 times more likely to be academically motivated than the students who do not believe they have a voice. This is a kind of a research from Krolika Institute for School Voice and Aspirations, like 2016, I think. I'll share it later here so you can read it more details. According to this research, like 239 schools and 14 state studies, and student voice leads to increased likelihood that students will experience self-worth, engagement, and purpose in school. Like the more educators can give their students voice, control, choice, and challenge, so and opportunities, for collaboration, and the greater their motivation and engagement, will be great. And this like can impact, also a student's level of effort and persistence, and which is one of the most important factors, like I can say, that affect achievements. Like Toshalis and Nakula mentioned this, like 2012. Okay, so let's move to another aspect here, like giving students voice. Kind of, just a moment. Sorry about it. Okay, so giving students voice kind of, may involve encouraging, the students to share their ideas or understanding, like design their own project or unit, we can say, or set goals, or the monitor their the own learning, and so on, and lead a conference or discussions or presentations. So another point that I would like to mention here, like how do I give students voice? This is also important. How do I give a voice to the students? So we can ask questions. We should ask questions that to push, the students to think through problems and improve their skills. And also, to introduce them to multiple viewpoints. So they have to think through their own perspectives, and also letting students to disagree and criticize as, the ways of helping them, to feel safe expressing their opinions and feelings, I can say. And also another point that I would like to mention here, like how do you empower like the student's voice in the classroom? And also I can suggest you 8 ways, to empower student voice in your classrooms. By the way, I'll also share kind of a web page about this giving students the voice, so you can get more information about it. I can't give you more information about it because I have limited time here. That's why I can't talk more. I just talk here, the basic skills. And we can use 8 ways, here to empower students' voice in our classrooms, like which is brainstorming. I'm sure that most of you use it, the brainstorming. Like this is really important. And also debate we can use, which is really important. I really love it. The students also love debate in the classrooms. And also vote. Why don't you give them a vote to use a vote? I'm sure that they love it. And also surveys are most of the time, this shows us how can we deal with the students and what is their idea or something like it. And also student lead conferences. You can arrange some conferences and give them choices, make them control the conferences, let them do everything through whole the conference time, so which is really important. And also, the social media. I know that sometimes it's really, the not easy to control the social media, but we can create kind of some educational social media sites, so we can give the control to the students. And of course, we should as a teachers or as educators, we should also control the page, but we can ask them to create kind of social media pages and which is related with education, which is related with the things that they do in the classrooms or they do together with their friends, and they can share it and they can write comments. But of course, that social media definitely should be under control of us also. And also Genius R. Genius R is really useful. This really important part, like kind of the students in that Genius R, the students decide, each student decide their own project at that time and work on that. This is all Genius time. You can try this one. And also project, the project that you give them to talk, to do, and to share and to collaborate with other friends. And finally, like giving students voice and choice, the opportunity to choose to learn the way they learn best, and also to direct some aspects, of their learning, and help to feel students feel them personally invested in their learning, and gives them a role in shaping and creating it rather than it being simply delivered to them. And also this, the giving voice and choice to them, you have a kind of chance, self motivation to them, and they can decide their own control, and they can understand it. And yes, and that's all about my giving voice to the students, and I hope I can say some good points about it. I'll share some links with you into the chat box so you can get more information about it. And that's all, and thank you very much for this opportunity for me to talk here. Thanks a lot. It was a great honor.
Thank you, dear Professor Volkan. Amazing advices, amazing way. Your 8 ways to empower the students,
Mm.
votes, surveys, organizing conferences, giving the students to lead the social medias. That we are giving to our students, then we are empowering them, we are encouraging them, and that is the best way today of
Exactly.
education. Exactly. And we know that the traditional methods are forgiven, and we, like educators, are only the moderators. Our students are giving us idea, and we always
Mhm.
are saying they are the persons who are innovative, who are creative. And I know that you are engaged in a lot of the projects. And uh, uh, me, how we make our project. We gave our students to create. They gave the topic. They share what they want to do, from the title, from the idea, from using the methods. So this is the best way to empower the students. Professor Volkan, we will continue to listen you, to monitor you, to we and also we would like you to be our guest here on in IIU Department of Learning and Training. So you will have
Yeah.
more time. You are
Mhm.
really welcome.
It's great
Yes.
honor. It's great honor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I hope
Congrat-
I mentioned some good points here, and I hope
Yes, yes.
you all enjoyed to listen it. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
How to give
Congratulations.
our students the voice. That is the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, oh my God, congratulations. Your job is really, really very important, very amazing for society, for students, or for us. Thank you
Yes,
so
yes.
much. You are unique. I'm so proud
Thank
of you.
you. You're welcome.
Yes,
Welcome,
yes.
IIU.
Yes, yes. When I hear first time Professor Volkan, it was in the
Yes,
21st digital skills. I was really impressed. So I
perfect.
think that we are really honored to meet him and all our educators today. I don't have a word. All are amazing.
Best.
All are great. And you see how each one country presented here is different, because all educators are giving their different topics from the education and the way how they are working. Thank you. Thank you all.
I am really very happy. Wow, Beata.
And this is a really excellent session. Enjoy because each one of you is very interested and we can make a discussion a whole day. Thank you. So now from Turkey, we are going back to Armenia. Our Dr. Alice is here. Dr. Alice, I already say a lot of things about you, so you can start your speech and presentation here today.
Good
Welcome.
evening one more time. Yeah, sorry for late because I was at the same time speaker in another session. And the time was like the same, that's why. Okay, let me talk as I was really very attentively listening to our friends speaking about the education and education system in their country. Let me share something also from the experience, maybe from educational system or what we usually do in our country. First of all, I think as we teachers, it doesn't matter that if you have BA or let's say MA, in many cases PhD, it means that you have already just done, have you already just completed your mission being as a teacher, because being a teacher, it means like you are a creator, you are something that you are like long lasting forever student in your life. Because if we go and look the circle about CPD, continuing teacher development circle, you will see that every time when we start learning something and then we share, we gain methods, experience, we come to a point and then it's maybe the end of one session or one training, but at the same time, it will be like a key for opening the door of another one. That's why I think that education is forever and always continuing, and we should just learn every time. Not only just there are different kinds of points when we teachers just learn, taking different kinds of courses, seminars, maybe webinars or conferences, like trying to develop our teaching and also at the same time educational skills. But at the same time, on the other hand, we learn from our learners. As for me, like being a teacher, I have learned many things from my students, especially what refers to technologies, to new maybe technological nets or something that can be used, for example, in our lesson. But also on the third forum, let's say thirdly, we learn from our colleagues, from our friends, and even from books, we can take something. It is said that education system and word is the only word when you share, when you learn something every time, even when you are speaking, when you are listening, or when even when you are reading, it's maybe the best way just to learn something. A little bit about the teacher development system in our country, this problem. I have been investigated for about the last 4 years because it was my PhD topic. And at the same time, I was investigating not only my country education system and also teacher development, let's say point and issue, but at the same time of international experience in this field. And it was really very interesting one because uh, everything and the peculiarities, let's say teacher development, teacher profession, skills and everything, it differs from the ones that we had before pandemic, before COVID-19, because at that time we mainly were concentrating the ones that everything maybe in some cases limited because sometimes we didn't have such kind of many opportunities just as today, join to international webinar or conference, speak, share, and also gain some kinds of skills and experience. But in many cases, it is said that pandemic situation was really a disaster. Yes, I agree, it's a disaster. But on the other hand, it has, like every failure, it has also a light, a hidden light, because it gave great opportunities for educators to join, to to learn, to just develop their professional skills from this point. As refers to my country, we as teachers, we don't, mainly we have BA and also MA, that's education, a majority of teachers who are working at schools, and also many teachers who want to develop, they have great opportunities to take part in different kinds of sessions, which are here every year. We are having like attestation qualification trainings for teachers. And every 5 years, our teachers of schools just attend kind of trainings and just, let's say, freshen their the methods, the strategies, the management, everything referring to the teacher work. On the other hand, being as a language teacher, we have many great opportunities because we have many projects from the USA, from the British Council, where our teachers just get a chance to train, to be experienced any fields they want in by knowing the foreign language. But for subject teachers, we also have, and that's why beginning from we have different kinds of projects also at schools for students, which gives, for example, Erasmus. We have Flex, which gives an opportunity our children to go to the USA to study at college or high school for a year. Different kinds of scholarships, which also just gives a chance for our students to study European countries or other countries and get education in the country universities they want. In our country, we have very good universities, and there are different students from different foreign countries, especially our medical university, which is famous for its quality, for its education all over the world. And you can see many foreign students who come here to study medical sciences and becoming a doctor and then going back to their country working. For teachers, as you see, we have different kinds of opportunities just to go. But let's a little bit talk also, we can have a chance, but at the same time, let's talk a little bit about the teacher development, just opportunities from the psychological point, because in some cases it is said that you can be given chance, but not to use this chance for your CPD, for your teacher development. That's why in many cases you should be, as a teacher, you should first of all think about a model, like a teacher model, what kind of teacher you would like to be for your students. A teacher, let's say an ordinary teacher who just enters the classroom, just conducts the lesson and then goes out without, no. As a teacher, you should just try to give a model which will be really a model for your students, because in this case, it will give your students just try to look like you, to take after you, in some cases trying to maybe look like, maybe try to take something from you, or not only knowledge, but at the same time skills, experience, etc. From this point, I think that teacher, every time when we just enter the classroom, we should just think about the thing after the lesson, what I have done today. If for example, the answer is something that really I'm satisfied with the answer, it means that you have done a great job for the day. And it means that at the same time, you will be just able to give something. And when tomorrow for a future generation, you will say, oh, this one, we can very proudly say that she or he was my student, and now he is a scientist, he is a good leader, he is a good doctor, he is a good teacher, why not? And in this case, you can say that the education, the experience, the skills that you have just given them was really productive one. That's why I will just say that from psychological point, as teachers, we should be just not only a teacher giving and sharing our knowledge and experience, but at the same time to be like the source of encouragement, the source of inspiration and motivation, because even only in this case, it will just be a very good motivational source for students to be motivated and encouraged and to study. And as a 21st century teacher, you should be a source of inspiration, motivation, and at the same time, you should be someone who knows everything, not nothing, but everything. Even in some cases, maybe we can just hesitate that I know a little in this field, but no, you should be just be the one, be assured, because when the student sees and asks you a question and you give the answer, says, oh, you are an English teacher, but how know you about, for example, about the biology, this lesson or something? And really it means that we are 21st centuries. We should do it. We should struggle not only for our knowledge, for our professionalism, but at the same time, we should struggle in order to make sure that we as teachers, we can do it, and we can do, and in this case, only students, while seeing you that you are the one who knows everything, they are assured also that in this case, they can be a good specialist, a good person, and a good, let's say, part of our future society too. From this point, I think we teachers are great. Let's take with positive tone for it.
Wow. Yes, 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 Dr. Alice. Teachers are great. First, you are great. You need to be an inspiration and motivation and encourage and empower your students. And I'm sure that the educators who are doing that have an amazing results, that their students are proud of their teachers, and also teachers are proud of their students. We hear how in Armenia is going the education system, and you as an English teacher have a lot of opportunities because you have many trainings in USA, in British, and I think that in every country, the English teacher, English person, a professor is really, really important because we know that all projects we are doing are on the European level, on the global level. Our students need to learn to communicate with their friends from another countries. And as our professor Volcano before you Dr. Ellis said, the voice of the students need to be heard, and you just continue the things where he stopped. You continue with his thought. Yes, let us all to be inspiration and motivation. We never need to stop with that because we are that. We are the persons, as you said, we need to know everything. Yes, we really need to know today everything because if we don't know some things, it is very hard. You said you need biology, chemistry. Yes, because in English you have lessons from the history, from biology, from math, and that is the way how our students are learning the learning the words, enriching their vocabulary. So I think that really English professor is a very important person in the education of every student. Thank you, Dr. Alisa. Dr. Alisa is an amazing professor. She is well known all over the world, and any topic, she is ready in every moment. Thank you, Dr. Ellis.
Yes,
Thank you.
she is ready in every moment because she is very hardworking. She have no time, but she joined it, and well done. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Keep up a wonderful and amazing job. So proud of you. We are proud of you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, Dr. Inga, we are proud and all our great eminent guest speakers here today
Of
on the
course.
amazing IIU stage and on this great second IIU Europe conference. And we are revolutionizing the knowledge and the education. So from Armenia, we are going to Portugal. We are going to Portugal, where our great professor, Dr. Luis Miguel Cardoso, is waiting us. He's coming from the Polytechnic Institute of the Portugal and State University of Lisboa. Lisboa is the correct way to say Lisbon. Lisboa. So he was a dean of the School and Education in the Social Science. She was a deputy director of Master in Media and Society. He was a president of many associations, the Association of Reflection Intervention in the Educational Policy of Higher. He was a professor at the Department of Language and Communication Science. Polytechnic Institute, the Communication Bureau. His main areas of teaching are research, science, language, and communication, pedagogical innovation, literacies, education, higher education, social responsibility. He is making speeches, presentations, attending the conferences all around the globe. Dear and respected Dr. Luis Miguel Cardozo, welcome and enrich us with your speech. We can't wait to hear about the education in Portugal.
Hello, greetings from Portugal. First of all, I would like to thank the very kind invitation that was made by Dr. Inga. Thank you. And of course, I would like to thank the very kind presentation that was shared now by our colleague Nada. Thank you, Nada, for a great presentation. And I would like to say hello to all my colleagues and dear friends that are here today to discuss some very important ideas regarding our role as teachers in this very complex 21st century. So I would like to share a small presentation so that I could highlight some ideas. So, first of all, my dear friends, when you're talking about the new vision for European teachers in education, the first thing that comes to our minds is what are the main frameworks that are important nowadays to going ahead with our educational systems. So we must think as a whole, we must think as Europeans, and we must try to understand what are the key concepts and what are the most important guidelines that we have today, for example, from the World Economic Forum, from UNESCO, from the OECD, to go ahead with these challenges. So a new vision for European teachers is about a new vision, not just for Portugal, but of course for all of Europe. And the most important lesson that I would like to share today is that we have learned a lot from the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm sharing now some key facts and elements from an OECD report regarding the state of school education 1 year, just 1 year after the COVID pandemic. As we all know, we faced school closures, and this was a big challenge for us all. So digital resources came to our help, and digital resources became the lifeline for education. So this is lesson number one. Education and technology nowadays in this 21st century are so connected that we cannot separate them anymore. Second, pandemic pushed teachers and students to quickly adapt to teaching and learning online. So this wasn't just a tool. Teaching and learning online wasn't just an opportunity to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. Nowadays, we are using online as a useful tool, for example, in this conference, in this conversation. And with online tools, we can get together, we can connect countries, we can overcome differences, we can overcome frontiers, we can overcome borders, and we can work together. And this is another key element from the COVID-19. We must work together because the problems that each and every one of us faced in our own country were exactly the same problems that we had in other countries. So the basics are now sharing, evolving, networking, and creating, and of course, creating opportunities for developing new solutions. So the opportunities that digital technologies offer go well beyond a stopgap solution during the pandemic. And of course, these solutions are not just connected with online learning now, they are connected with our future. And our future is, of course, not just for the next decade, it's for the two next decades at least. And the next two decades will be totally connected with digital technology that can elevate the role of teachers. And by the way, during the COVID-19 pandemic, teachers were absolute heroes, not just in universities, not just in secondary schools, in all levels of our educational systems. Teachers were the lifeline for educational systems. So another lesson that is valuable for us all is that we have to provide teachers with everything they need. I'm not just talking about computers, not just talking about connectivity. I'm talking about giving them training courses, teacher training courses, about new technologies, about digital resources, for example. These are valuable tools that we have to understand that they are more needed than ever. And of course, when we go ahead and debate all these challenges and we debate the transition to remote instruction and the subsequent reopening of schools, we have to deal with a lot of different sanitary challenges. We had to gain the confidence of our students, and that wasn't easy. So this means that nowadays, a teacher has to develop not just knowledge, but also values and principles, soft skills, social skills, so that problems like social distance can be overcome. And mainly this crisis, of course, made us think about the opportunities to create new challenges regarding technology. And one of those challenges is, of course, the need of the labor market to receive our students with more skills, not just more knowledge, but more skills. And the World Economic Forum, for example, projects that during 2022, at least 54% of all employees will need reskilling. So we're talking about millions. We're not talking about hundreds, we're talking about millions. This means a huge effort for us all. This means a huge effort for universities. This means a huge effort worldwide. So young people, this is another lesson. Young people need the skills to rapidly learn and adapt and practice resilience and take advantage, for example, of entrepreneurial mindsets to respond to this reality. So Our students nowadays, of course, they value knowledge, but they also value the possibility of gaining new tools to enter the labor market, which is very, very, very demanding. So this changing environment calls for a transformation in how we think about learning, how we think about our educational systems, how we think about education, not just in our country, but in Europe and worldwide. So we need guidelines. We need guidelines from UNESCO, we need guidelines from the OECD, and then we have to adapt these guidelines to our culture, to our language, and of course to our countries. So young people, another lesson, young people must learn to learn. As society is now changing very fast, and we have a flow of information that is absolutely overwhelming. Nowadays, our students need to be very well equipped with technology, of course, but also with skills like digital skills, informational skills, for example, media skills. These skills are very important nowadays. So we need to give our students knowledge, values, principles, skills, social skills. And all this connected is quite a revolution, my dear friends. So why do we need this revolution? Because the labor market has changed a lot, and it's changed a lot during the COVID-19 pandemic. So employers overwhelmingly agree that young employees need soft skills. And they need soft skills such as communication and creative problem solving and entrepreneurial thinking, for example. So creative problem solving is one of the major lessons that we can take from the COVID-19 pandemic, for sure, because we have to be creative. We have to sometimes start from scratch in our classrooms. We have to adapt, we have to evolve, we have to gain our students' confidence to go ahead with education, because education cannot stop. If education stops, civilization stops. This is why when we compare a list of the 10 skills that were absolutely vital in 2015 with the list of skills that were very important just 2 years ago, my friends, just 2 years ago, we see a lot of differences. For example, number one skill, complex problem solving. It is still number one today because COVID-19 pandemic and our changing society, our information society requires our students to be adapting very fast, and it requires our students to be flexible, highly flexible. So they must have this skill. For example, critical thinking was number 4 in 2015. Critical thinking was number 2 in 2020. And today, it still is number 2. So critical thinking is absolutely vital for us all and for our students as well. And I would like to highlight, of course, I cannot comment on all this, but I would like to highlight that by 2020, we had 2 new and very important skills. And I'm talking about emotional intelligence, and I'm talking about cognitive flexibility that were not listed in 2015. And nowadays, if we could get this list, an updated list, we would see that emotional intelligence and cognitive flexibility are no longer number 6 and number 10, but probably number 4 and number 5, due exactly to the changes that we had during these 2 last years. So again, if we have to highlight the most important skills that our students require nowadays, of course, skill number one is learn to learn, as we have already said. So learning to learn helps young people rapidly gain skills and knowledge to adapt to changes and succeed. And this is absolutely vital nowadays. Second, we have to understand that performance is also one of the key elements that is expected from us, teachers, trainers, university teachers, and of course from our students as well when they join the labor market. So from learning performance, 40% is due to metacognition. So this is why we have to think about the curriculum that we now have. And our curriculum is very conservative in the majority of countries. It must be flexible. We must adapt the curriculum. And flexibility is now another key element from the COVID-19 lessons. And moving on, about futures literacy, I would like to share, just to end this presentation, some ideas from the World Economic Forum. And the skill number one from the World Economic Forum, from these four very important skills, is all about futures literacy. So in general terms, why do we need literacies nowadays? Because our students need to understand the world, need to understand themselves, need to understand the relations that we establish with one another, with others, in our country, in our communities, in our regions, and of course with different countries. So when we talk about literacies, we talk about tools that are required to face these challenges. So one of the key elements for our next decade is to give our students not just one literacy, but a set of literacies. We can use the expression multi-literacies. So futures literacy is, of course, connected with systems thinking. Perhaps in the 20th century, we didn't think just like this. We had an opportunity to change when we had some dramatic changes during the last 20 years. And now we must think in a different way. So to address all this, we have to establish a new goal. And this new goal is again connected with this systems thinking theory that I will not address, otherwise I will not have time. So to end this presentation, I would like to highlight skill number 3, that is anticipation. We were not prepared for the epidemic. We were not prepared. We were not prepared with the proper technology. We didn't have the connectivity. Even today, a lot of countries do not have a regular stable connectivity. A lot of countries do not have computers, do not have laptops for all teachers, for all students. So this means that education must be a priority for all our governments. And if we lose education, then we are sure to lose hope, and we will lose our future, because future is built upon anticipation, and anticipation is all about education, my dear friends. So this is why we need strategic foresight. And strategic foresight is our ability to understand these changes, our ability in our universities, in our schools, with our colleagues, with our networks, in our conferences, when we are talking with different colleagues, when we are talking with different countries, to try to understand all these changes and to get together and to share ideas, to share best practices, to share examples, and most important, to have this common goal. We cannot lose track regarding education, my dear friends. Education is absolutely essential, and our students rely on us, teachers, not just for knowledge, but also as role models, as inspiring persons. And for us to be inspiring, we must also be inspired. So we must have support from our governments. We must have support in our careers. We must have support to have better conditions in our classrooms, to have better equipment, to have better teacher training. This is why we have to work together. So, my dear friends, my last key word is about hope. We must have hope regarding future. And hope is about being connected. Like today, we are truly connected. We are truly connected by education. We are truly connected by knowledge. We are truly connected. We are here today in cyberspace, connecting different countries, different colleagues, but we all want the same. We want the best for our students. We want the best for our students in their careers, in their lives. We want them to be extraordinary persons. We want them to be very good professionals, of course, but we also want them to be extraordinary citizens with values, with principles. This is why today a teacher is a combination of knowledge, values, and principles. And these are very, very important words that cannot be forgotten. Not today, not tomorrow, not in the next century, not in the next millennium. These are eternal words. So, my friends, it was a great pleasure to be here today. Thank you for your very interesting speeches. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for creating this opportunity to get together. Thank you.
Wow. Oh my God. My great respect to you, Professor Luis from Portugal. Congratulations, sir. I am sure that your country proud of you, and today we European teachers and EU team proud of you. Thanks a lot.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, respected Dr. Luis. Your facts, your guidelines, you said a revolution today. Your speech was a revolution because you started from the situation with COVID, and we know that the education will never be the same. We know what the situation with COVID made and what it brings to us educators, to the students. You mentioned all the skills, soft skills, which students need. You talk about literacy. Yes, we need future literacy. That is a set of all literacy. We need a media literacy, financial literacy, digital literacy, eco literacy. All the literacy are important, and your strategic foresights that are really strategic foresights you given to us. And if we want and how to change the situation, it is depending from our governments. Yes, all our governments, we need a support for the education. We need a support for us, for educators, for the new changes, and to adapt to the new changes. And you mentioned the values. So today, after the speeches of all of you, I will talk a little about the value-based education. And we need hope. For the information, my name is Nada, and if you translate my name on the English, it is hope. So I am always with the hope. My name is also a hope. Thank you. Thank you, dear Professor Lewis. It is always a pleasure to listen your speeches because they are very rich with the real examples of your practice because you have a rich experience in many fields of education. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. You're most kind. Thank you. It's up to me to say thank you. And again, to thank all dear colleagues and dear friends that were here today. Thank you, my dear colleagues. It was very nice meeting you. I already knew some colleagues, but now I'm richer and happier and fortunate because I know a lot more. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Professor Lewis. And you know, I adore the yellow windows, the yellow streets in Portugal. Thank you, and I think that we will soon come to your country again. Now from Portugal, we are going to Azerbaijan. We are going to Azerbaijan, and we have a great MIE trainer, a national community member of Global Education Network, a STEM certified teacher of English at Kabajar School. It is a Professor Shalale Mamadi. Shalale Mamadi is coming from Azerbaijan. She finished the Baku State University. She is continuing her education at the University of Languages, and she's actively participating in the e-twinning project that allows schools, teachers, and students from different parts of Europe to be together. She is a MII expert. Yes, the e-twinning projects helps and give us bring us communication, collaboration, and great work with the teachers from other European countries. But I want to mention also that International Internship University has an biggest inter exchange, interactive exchange project called BICA. And you know, as we in Europe have Erasmus Plus, now International Internship University has a BICAP. And BICAP is for the students from all around the world. So if you don't apply with your students still yet, grab the opportunity, be a part of the project BICAP, and be the person, be the educator who will, with his students, visit India because in September, India is the first country which the educators with the students will visit. So go and grab that opportunity. Professor Shalile,
So,
the IIU
good
stage
evening. Can you hear me?
Great.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to IIU for organizing such an amazing event with such wonderful people from all over the world. And you are really a great team. You are a hardworking team. And it's an honor for me to be a part of this event today. So now let me share my screen.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So a moment, please. So the topic of my presentation is SILL, Strategy Inventory for Language Learning as a useful tool in learning a foreign language. First of all, let's try to define the term language learning strategy. What is a learning strategy? Here on the screen, of course, you can see different definitions given by various researchers, Rebecca Oxford, Rubin, Brown, and others. But if to summarize all of them and put it simply, we can say that strategy is a conscious step. It's a plan that we take that helps us to achieve our goal. And our goal in this case is learning a foreign language. Using language learning strategies contribute to our learning process. We all use different strategies in our daily lives. If compared to sports, for example, footballers, they use different tactics, strategies in order to win a match. And similarly, we can use different language learning strategies in order to become more successful language learners. And here comes one of the most important questions. Why is it so important being aware of different language learning strategies? You know, there may be different reasons. I'll try to share some of them with you. You know, the demand for learning a foreign language increases day by day. We can observe it ourselves. We all have to learn foreign languages for different purposes. Some maybe for the sake of more successful career, for getting a well-paid and a better job. Some for the sake of being able to communicate with people from all over the world. Some for the chance to travel to other countries. So reason, or maybe studying abroad. Finding a job abroad. So reasons may be different, but the main fact is that we have to learn a foreign language, and being knowledgeable about language learning strategies can significantly facilitate this process. And the second reason is that, as you know, there has been a big shift in the field of teaching and learning. In the education system as well. So as we all remember, in former times, it was mainly teacher-centered and knowledge-based, and our learners, they were simply passive recipients of the information given to them. But nowadays, they become more engaged, they are actively involved in the learning process, and the emphasis is being put on learners and learning rather than teachers and the teaching process. Then the third reason is that being knowledgeable about language learning strategies help our learners become actively involved in controlling their own learning process. It encourages their independent learning. And finally, it helps them to become more effective learners. And here we see different classifications given by researchers. Of course, if you decide to dig deeper into this topic, you can find many other classifications as well, but I have chosen only two of them. This topic, language learning strategies, has gained a large significance and a large attention beginning the early 1970s. But in 1990, some researchers tried to give the classification of those strategies. For example, Camo and O'Malley, they introduced this classification. They divided all those strategies into three main groups: metacognitive, cognitive, and social affective strategies. They emphasized the role of metacognitive strategies, stating that those language learners who used these strategies, they were more successful and they learned foreign languages more rapidly than the learners who didn't use those strategies. And the other classification is given by Rebecca Oxford. She divided the strategies into two groups: direct strategies, which contribute to our learning process directly, and indirect strategies, which contribute to our learning process indirectly. So cognitive, memory, and compensation strategies, they are direct strategies, and metacognitive, affective, and social strategies, they are indirect strategies. We all know what these strategies are all about. Cognitive strategies, they mainly deal with our thinking ability. So for example, when you analyze new information, when you try to classify it, it's all about cognitive strategies. Memory strategies help us to memorize new information and to remember it when it's needed. For example, taking notes, it's about memory strategies. And compensation strategies, they are also useful in foreign language learning because they help us to guess the meaning of the word. For example, you don't know the exact meaning of the word, but you can try to convey this meaning with the help of gestures, or let's say, trying to paraphrase the meaning, or using synonyms, antonyms. So it's all about compensation strategies. And metacognitive strategies, they are also very important in foreign language learning because they help us to plan our learning process, to regulate it, to organize it. And affective strategies, they help language learners to overcome their negative feelings, for example, over shyness, or to control the level of their anxiety when learning a foreign language. And social strategies, they are mainly used by those language learners who love to learn a language through communication. And here you can see strategies inventory for language learning, SLIL, introduced by Rebecca Oxford. It was a big fun to complete this questionnaire with our students. Here she has introduced 50 strategies. And when we completed this survey, we found out our students' most favorite and the least favorite strategies. How can we use this information? Okay, we can, for example, we can tailor our lesson plans to our learners' language learning preferences. And here you can see the most interesting, I think, part of my presentation, and in fact, my favorite part of presentation, the summary of the survey conducted with my students. I chose 14 students in total. 3 of them were boys and 11 girls from the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grades. And they all were good language learners. When I say good language learners, I mean that they all were highly motivated, enthusiastic about learning new information, always ready for their lessons. They all got good marks, and they all always were responsible students. So we found out, and what is interesting about this survey is that when you do it, you never know what to expect, what the results are going to be. So we found out that the most dominant use strategy with our students was metacognitive strategy. It means that our good language learners, they mainly used metacognitive strategies. They could regulate their own learning process. They could self-evaluate. They could plan their learning. And the least dominant strategy, the least favorite strategy, was compensation strategy. It means that they didn't like using, for example, gestures when they didn't know the meaning of the word. I don't know the reasons for this fact. The reasons may be different. Maybe they simply were afraid of making mistakes, and they didn't like taking risks. Anyway, and here on the screen, again, you can see the list of most popular strategies among our good language learners. For example, the strategy number 32, I'm sorry. I pay attention when someone is speaking English. This strategy was used by all of our students. And for example, one of the least popular strategies, I try to find patterns in English. Only 3 of our students use this strategy. So how can this information that we gain from completing this survey help us? You know, our students become more knowledgeable about their weak and strong points. They can work on their mistakes. And we as teachers, when planning our lessons, can use this information in order to plan our lesson according to their preferences, language learning preferences, language learning styles. And of course, this is quite a wide topic, and still there are many questions to be covered, but due to the time limit, I think that'll be enough for today. Again, I would like to thank you all for your invitation and for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, great Professor Selal. You know, today we are really impressed with you, European English teacher languages. From your speech and presentation, we learn the strategies, the language learn strategies. What you mentioned to us the direct methods, the indirect methods, cognitive strategies, and what you think under the cognitive strategies, uh, like linking the new informations with the existing shame,
Yes.
How to analyze that, how to classify that. So you explain us the memory, which is one of the direct strategies, and the memory strategies is how to memorize a new information,
Yes.
how to retrieve it. Then we go to compensation strategy, like guessing, using gestures, overcoming the language knowledge. Then after that, we are after the direct strategies, we are going to the indirect strategies to learn how to get a metacognitive strategy as well. You said that it is planning, organizing, evaluating. And in this presentation, we see the importance of the survey, because when we make the surveys, we get a lot of answers, we get a path to the way how to continue learning with the students and which strategy will be good. After that, your metacognitive strategy, you give us your affective strategy, and I like that because that effective part means how to handle the emotions, what is with our attitudes. And at the end, the social strategy that we have today. Our social strategy today is cooperating with others in the learning process. Thank you. Thank you, dear Professor Selale, for this LLS, for this SLIL method and strategy. I can proudly say that I today learned this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm
Yes.
sure that our listeners and watchers on Facebook are learned today a lot of new things. And you said 50 strategies. And I can't wait to another time to you to listen you to present and to say us which are that 50 other strategies. So you are invited in IIU's Department Training Center for, and please reserve your term because this learning strategy, this language learning strategy is very important for each one person. Thank you.
Yes, Yara, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Hope
you
it
so
was
much, dear.
hope
Thank
it was
you.
useful for you.
Yes, this is great presentation, really. You are doing an amazing job. Keep up. Wow, great job. And thank you very much also, dear Aida, because you invited you and many Azerbaijan teachers. Thank you. Azerbaijan rocking. Wow, great. Perfect. Thank you so much, so much.
Yes, yes, great Azerbaijan teachers. Now from Azerbaijan, we were in Turkey, Romania, Armenia, Portugal. This now we are going from Azerbaijan to Spain. We have an amazing person, Miss Olga Rodriguez, a founder and creator of active immersion methodology. She is a Cambridge exam specialist and former of Cambridge examiners. Her methods are put into practice since 2009, and she has trained hundreds of students in the methodology, allowing them to achieve a successful goals in language. We are very proud and honored to have you today because I'm sure that almost now we are here together more than 2 hours and we learn a lot about the education in Europe and I can say about the English language and how to learn quality and the quality way this English language. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to share this opportunity you gave me, okay, to let my methodology, to let you and Europe know about my methodology. So I'm very grateful, okay, to Professor Inge and International Internship University for the opportunity you're giving me today, because it's always important to make people know and let people know about what you're doing. If they don't know what you're doing, okay, so they don't know where you are, and they don't know what you can offer them, and they don't know what they can get from you. So thank you very much. I really appreciate this opportunity. I'll share a short presentation. Okay, here we are. Well, thank you very much. As I said, I'm very grateful to you, right? So that's why this is my front slide, okay, of the presentation today. And then I will speak about my methodology, which is now called active immersion methodology after so many attempts to give it a name. And first of all, I would like to start with this question that I'm sharing with you right now, okay? And why? Because this is a question I would always ask myself in the past. And this is the question which was the way to the creation of my methodology when I started this adventure in 2009. And the question is, how do you explain why a large percentage of students are not able to speak English after years and years of studying the language? Okay, so that was the question which was heavy in my mind for a long time, and that I couldn't understand why students, I could get this experience from adults, okay, who always came to me, they used to come to me, right, for learning again and again, and they had quit the language for years because of lack of motivation, and then this was always going back to the same process. And the same process kept the students trying to learn the language at 30, at 40, at 50 years old. And it was always the same, right? So after asking myself this question again and again, I became more aware of the fact that I had to do something significant to innovate the way students learn English. And bringing up a quote to my memory, I'd like to highlight what Mark Van Doren, American poet, writer, critic, and professor of English at Columbia University for 30 or 40 years, said, "The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery." And there I was, trying to put this into practice and trying to assess, I'm trying to teach learners with the aim and the goal of assisting discovery in the learning process. This American writer and professor was quite right, okay? Because teaching can help students to have new experiences and discover more and more, right? So there are many ways of unlocking a student's potential. I always thought about a student's potential and why teachers used to limit their potential just by giving them the contents that found in books, and books could offer textbooks, and that was all. So I decided that by combining two approaches, like critical thinking and content-related approach, I could meet a student's needs in a more practical and interactive way. In addition, the use of technology and collaborative learning would be included by the time, and therefore would largely contribute to motivating learning, because learning is very much related to emotions. So next, after this, I had to name the method. Somehow I had to give it a name which should be appealing to parents, to students, meaningful, approach related. And this process took years. The process took years. But finally, I came up with the name Active Immersion Methodology, which is a student-centered method and which basically enables learners to stop translating in their head from their native language, whatever their native language is, okay, through putting their critical thinking into practice, gain confidence, and as a result, speak the language fluently. And in fact, we should consider that interaction is critical to developing foreign language, second language skills, or just language acquisition. Next, I would like to move on what critical thinking means, okay, and how I apply critical thinking in the classroom. As I said, that the methodology is a combination of critical thinking and content-related approaches. So I'll proceed to describe how to apply this to the language classroom. Students will work on academic or authentic materials according to their age. More academic, okay, for young learners, more authentic materials, okay, for, adults and teenagers, because they are more motivating. Then in the process, in this learning process, where critical thinking is being put into practice, students will collect information, often in small groups, as they have the chance, okay, to discuss what they found out, what they find out in this on these authentic materials, and they have the chance to exchange feedback, which is very important for interaction. They will develop their views on the material given as they discuss together. They will also develop analysis, synthesis, and research skills through proper learning techniques, teaching techniques, let's say language learning games, collaborative learning, quizzes, any online platforms, whatever techniques we teachers choose, okay, to teach students in order to spice up their learning process, which is the most important thing, that they feel motivated and encouraged to speak the language and to participate. Also, students in the language classroom on critical thinking, they will put their knowledge into action through interaction and feedback exchange. Will infer grammar, structures, and all the requirements of the level they are working at. When I say they will infer grammar, I mean that given grammar is not given to students, okay, as grammar rules, because grammar rules are very easy to forget. So students, through my experience, I was able to realize that students forget grammar rules very easily. So by inferring grammar in the classroom, you give a structure to students. What they have to do is deduct this grammar rule from the structure given to them. So this is much more efficient because they have to discuss, they have to inquire, they have to find out. And this really makes them, okay, learn what they are doing and why they are doing so. So this is quite efficient. Then all this process, okay, will make the students get out of their comfort zone. And of course, they will become better communicators and better decision makers, without a doubt. So now I'll move on to the next approach in combination with critical thinking, which makes the experience of the methodology, and which is content-related approach, okay? So how can be used in the language classroom? Students produce language according to the contents instructed, okay? So what do I do with the students here? We work on integration of content. Integration of content means integration of grammar, vocabulary, collocations, paraphrasing, word formation, phrasal verbs, idiomatic expressions, everything which is content related to a level they need to work in English. So this integration of content must be done in a very efficient way so that they are aware of their learning process. And I should say that they are aware of the learning process. So they can give you feedback and say, teacher, I know why I'm learning this, and I know what the purpose of this content is now. I didn't know before. So they're very happy and more motivated. I will move on to this content related approach, okay? So I made a further decision and I said to myself, well, if I'm using the content related approach in the general classroom context for all skills, reading, writing, listening, speaking, why shouldn't I do something different? And should I apply to Cambridge B2 C1 speaking and writing skills? And that will make a difference if we compare the traditional preparation students, candidates have for Cambridge exams as integration of the level requirements into these skills, okay? make them express content in different ways. So as I said before, Cambridge candidates become more aware of the contents or the requirements they need for their B2 C1 level. And they integrate all this content I mentioned before, okay, into their speaking and writing skills. And why the speaking and writing skills? Why I refer to these skills and not the other ones, not reading and listening, which are receptive skills? Because speaking and writing are productive skills. So they involve producing words, phrases, okay, sentences, paragraphs, and they are the evidence of language acquisition. Students show their progress by producing coherent language, and they are aware of the progress they make. And so they feel happy and encouraged, okay, to continue learning. Now, as for the way I integrate this content, I can tell you that the way, okay, they produce the language according to the contents instructed in the classroom. So they change ideas and situations in a paragraph, okay, subject to whether they are given adverbs or adjectives or phrasal verbs to integrate, okay, into the paragraph they are working on. Thus, they will be able, in this case, to produce new paragraphs with different meanings, and they will be able to paraphrase. They will be able to create new content out of the content they had been given. In fact, I should say that together with a co-worker from Hungary, we are about to start a Cambridge speaking club by doing this integration of requirements and contents at B2 C1 levels, so that students, candidates are able to go farther, go beyond the intermediate level they usually get stuck at, because they need, okay, to go farther into the language, and they need this integration to be able to enrich their vocabulary, and therefore they would enrich their speaking, their fluency, and they will be able to speak more fluently in the language. And well, finally, okay, and for my closing line, I should say that as the learning process is unlimited, I have chosen the following quotes, okay, by the American spiritual teacher, Vernon Howard, okay, which is always walk through life as you have something new to learn, and you will. And now I would say thank you very much, okay. Well, sorry, I forgot to say something, and it is the benefits of the immersion, the active immersion methodology to learners. And especially, I should talk about two specific groups. They are absolute beginners and teenagers and adults. And why absolute beginners? Okay, because it helps absolute beginners learn much faster thanks to integration, this integration I've been talking about, okay. And then another group which is really hard, to motivate is teenagers, because of the stage of the life they are at, and adults, because as I said before, they're always quitting, coming back, quitting, coming back. and then they have to start almost from an A2 level, okay? So teenagers and adults feel encouraged, okay, to speak the language as they find their learning meaningful. What is more, active immersion methodology, okay, as I said before, helps students who are stuck at intermediate level, okay, to move on a higher level in a very short period of time. I would say after 25 teaching hours. I have checked this from my personal experience with face-to-face students, I mean one-to-one students, okay, sorry, not face-to-face, one-to-one students, and they were really successful after 25 hours, okay, of learning. They were able to do the integration efficiently and being aware of how the learning process works for them. And because I started this adventure, as I said at the beginning, in 2009, I had time to check how successful, okay, my methodology is. And the most important thing is how I can help students through this methodology, because they really understand their learning process as meaningful, as significant. And now, yes, now it's time for me to say thank you and say that I'm very grateful to you for listening to me and paying, you know, attention to me and your interest in my speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, great Professor Olga. Thank you for your active immersion methodology. You said at the beginning that it is for we need to unlock the potential. You really unlock our potential. And I was looking in the chats about the questions, how
buraya koyduk. Hadi zıpla sen.
we have somebody please can you stop sharing your presentation, Professor Olga?
Okay, yes, sorry.
Okay, but I think
sorry about it.
Yes, I think that I hear somebody. Okay, I want to finish my thought because I need to make a few comments on this. You put the question, how do you explain why a large percentage of students are not able to speak English after years and years of studying the language? We get an answer from you. We get an answer from you because your methodology has two combination of critical thinking and content related approaches, and you explain us what means reading, writing, what are the productive skills, what is the motivation, and how to do that. And using we see to you from you the genially using different digital tools, practicing this I think that this and you mentioned your future work with the Hungary on this for the improvement of the learning of the English language. I think that this methodology, active immersion, can help not only the students, can help all the educators around the world who are not good in the language, because you know I will say that many persons can understand when read, also can know to write, but if you are not communicating, if you are not talking, if you are not practicing, all that you learn will go in forgiven. So after years, this global education, the sharing of the knowledge with all educators, and communicating on the English is for us the best practice and the best way for the learning. Great. I never heard for this methodology. I can say that I learned today really a lot, especially in the English language. Thank you, dear
Yes,
and respected
yes,
Professor
really, yeah,
Olga.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
We're learning and learning and learning. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you are with us today, dear Professor Olga. Really, we are proud of you, and really, your presentation is very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the
Congratulations.
opportunity. Thank you very much.
Welcome,
everyone.
welcome.
We have our great coach here. Miss Christina, what you say for today, our today great guests and eminent speakers? Your opinion, because you are a coach and I know that you have a lot of things to say apropos this.
Thank you very much. It's really, wow, I'm humbled. I really enjoyed each and every presentation, each and every approach, because what it came to me really that every educator really cares about the students. And what I'm seeing is that your own methods and methodologies, in your own styles, in your own ways, each and every one of you, each and every one of us is trying to make a better future for the students. We are trying to benefit the students, and this is, I think, the most important. I know that teachers, they need help for the government, but I'm saying that if a teacher, if an educator is doing it or his or her part in her or his own classroom, then that is a difference already. Because those students you are teaching, they will teach others, and those they will teach others, and this will have a ripple effect, and that's brilliant. So I just would love to congratulate every speaker from today. You've done an amazing job. I would love to congratulate Inga and you, Nada, for a brilliant moderation. It was one of the best conferences in education I've ever been, I must confess, and it was really an honor to being here. So thank you very much for each and every one of you. An amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you very much, because your opinion is very important to us. Now
Thank you.
we still are not finished. We have two speakers yet. Our next guest is coming from Azerbaijan, and she is also an English teacher. In the Institute Settlement of the Full Secondary School, she has a rich work experience like a ESL teacher, more than 20 years in the English. She is Aida Elizanova from Azerbaijan. Welcome, Aida. The IIU stage is yours.
Welcome there.
Hello, everyone. Hope that you are doing well and you are not so tired. My cup is always with me. When I am tired, I am just always smile, and smiles are always in fashion. Just smile and relax. And today I want to share my experience in teaching English, as I am an English teacher. And let me share my screen, and I will show you my presentation. So for the first of all, please let me introduce myself to the listeners. Just a minute. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we
so I'm Aida Eliazova from Azerbaijan. I am an English foreign language teacher. Also, I am an Lithuanian European coach. I am Microsoft expert, And it's my honor to say that I am Azete, Samukh branch manager. What does it mean, Azete? Azete, it is Azerbaijan English Teachers Association. And we have 9 branches in Azerbaijan, and one of the branches, I am the manager of one of the branches. And I am T alumna. I was in USA in 2015, Teachers Excellence and Achievement Program. And also I'm a British Council Tech Facilitator. Today my topic is using technologies in language teaching. You know, due to pandemic, we moved to online teaching unexpectedly. And some teachers got lost what to do, how to motivate these students. You know, it's also difficult to keep motivated all the teachers, all the students during the lesson. But then we moved to online teaching and it became more difficult. So some tools came to help of teaching English. And so technology, why technology? Because technology empowers teachers with large section of English language materials, new ways to teach and learn English, access to new in the English speaking world, a source for spoken English language, data and methods for finding how English grammar and vocabulary are used, opportunities to participate in English language communications, like now. You know, all English language join us all together. We all communicate in English, and even we teachers, we share our experience in English. So we should teach our students to speak this language more fluently. And today's technologies, computer technology and language, what is I would say, what joins them? Many people use technology for communication. When we communicate, we express. What to express, we want to say. What technology we use for communication? So, and as I mentioned, people through the world communicate on the internet by English language. And in many schools and countries, course materials are delivered by computers. Students use interactive technology to complete their course assessment. With the technology, students use course management system to submit their assignments and communicate. You know, and we also did it during the pandemic. While our online lessons, we assigned our students online with technologies, with many different tools. So this reconnection with technology today contribute to the topic of my presentation. So technology and language, technology and English, and technology and learning. Now let's, teachers need to learn more about the resources to use them to develop pedagogy. You know, imagine that we teachers, we are not acquainted with technologies, and today's world needs technologies, how we can teach. So we should know the technologies and tools on technologies. And teachers need to learn where they fit in this dynamic world of technology. Technology for English language learning. How can teachers use communication and learning technologies for English language learning? We will look at these 6 areas of English language. What are they? Vocabulary. You know that in learning language, there are 3 main areas, 6. Grammar, listening, you can predict what's next, speaking, reading, and of course, writing. So all these skills we should acquire through technologies. And technology and vocabulary. I want to share my experience, how I teach my students vocabulary. You know that there are 2 types of vocabulary learning, accidental and intentional. Know that incidental learning happens while students are doing something else, such as reading, and intentional when students are trying to study vocabulary. For learning vocabulary, I use Google Image. It's an easy and very interesting tool for my students. You know, for example, you write Google Image, and when I write the word, it appears in pictures, in image. And this way, my students, they remember this word in a better way. The next one, technology and grammar. New technologies, you know, all about grammar, new ways for linguistics teachers and students to study grammar. I think that you know it is Grammarly. Grammarly checks your text for hundreds of common and voice writing issues. And also Grammarly provides synonyms, suggestions to make your writing more readable and precise. With Grammarly, we can write online with confidence. Technology and listening. So, even we, not only students, for improving our listening skills, we listen to TED Talks. You can find easy talks and make your students listen them. Then after this way, they will develop their listening skills. And of course, pronunciation plays the most important role in our speaking. Imagine that I know grammar, I know how to read, but my pronunciation is so bad that no one can understand me. So to improve your students' pronunciation skills, you can use English. In this way, it gives you fast and biased answers about how English is spoken by real people. And in context, instead of what's prosperity correct, it helps learn to improve their pronunciation. When I have troubles with pronunciation some words, I just write on this side in English, and it gives me clear idea how native speakers pronounce it. And it may be sentences, text, and so on. And of course, speaking. For improving our students' speaking, Walkie is the best tool. You know, students admire learning through playing. Using this tool, students will play and learn at the same time. You know, Walkie is an educational tool that allows users to create their very own taking character. Walkie characters can be customized to look like historical figures, cartoons, animals, and even yourself. My students sometimes they play with me. They make a character of me and they speak. This tool is very, very useful for improving our students' speaking skills. And as I mentioned, they play and they learn at the same time. And technology for reading. www.wownews.com is very useful tool for reading. It provides access to many different materials for students to read. And why is reading important? I think that we all know that students learn through reading. Students can learn language through reading. Students can write better if they read. Not only students, but everyone. They can find fun reading, and students can become informed world citizens by reading. And last one is technology and writing. This side is very useful for writing. It gives explanation, the position of the word in the sentence. And why is writing important? Writing allows students to use the grammar and vocabulary that they are learning. When students write, they get an important type of practice. They have to access and combine their language knowledge in new ways. Students can also observe, analyze, and assess their language knowledge by looking at the page where they have written. Also, they can be a stress-free way to practice using English. Writing is used for many forms of communication inside and outside of the classroom. Everyone engaged in writing communication, then moreover. We text message, post on social media, blog, comment, and email. And for all this, we should use English and know English as it's a global language. Thanks for your attention. I hope that my presentation wasn't boring, and I wanted to share some tools which I used at my classes. That's all. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to mention that the professor from Portugal, he mentioned the government support for the teachers, for the educators and students. And I can say that Azerbaijan people are very lucky because our president and our government pays attention to the education, and our Minister of Education also, they build many schools every year, and even in rural place. I teach in a rural place. It's a village, it's like a settlement, it's not big city, it's not a capital, but we are provided with all supplies because in every corner of our country, new and modern schools are built every year. So everything for our future. As the professor said, knowledge is our future, because everything depends on the education. That's why every country, every government should pay attention, the most attention on the education for the future of the country. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you enjoy the presentation and it was very useful.
Yes, dear Professor Aida, we really joined. We learned also from you a lot of new things. I never think about the connections with how to learn English on that way, because you put it on the three connections. Technology for English language learning, like technology and language, technology and English, technology and learning. And I'm now thinking about this incidental and intendental vocabulary, how and which one to use to improve the vocabulary. And we see that you in your classroom use great ways connecting with the technology, and that is a big contribution for the learning. You mentioned Google Images, you mentioned TED Talks, Youglish. So many great solutions for helping our students and also us educators to learn a quality way, on the correct way, how to improve and to learn English language. Dr. Inga?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, dear Aida. Your work is really amazing. Congratulations, keep up a very, very important job. Okay, dear Nada, I think today's conference finished.
Yes, we come.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I am speechless today. I am very happy and excited today, really. It was a very, very amazing, interesting, important, and informative session. Yes, really. Thanks to the speakers for providing excellent information. Please keep up the good and wonderful job. We are almost all over the world and we are spreading knowledge. Thank you for their enthusiasm and amazing work again. Yes, we use everything to advance education. Congratulations, everyone. It was an, I think, unforgettable day there, yes. I continue to work with you. We are very strong and we'll do many good things. Yes. Okay, on July 11, we have a conference of Romanian teachers. Stay with us, and IIU is revolution. Congratulations, everyone. I am so happy for you all, and
Thank you. And I would like to add one thing. Thanks, Inga, for reminding. On the 30th of July, Azerbaijani teachers will have a conference and they will present their experience.
And of course,
How it
Georgian.
was.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, yes, Europe is really ready. Europe.
Yes, of course.
Europe is ready, and Europe is sharing knowledge and revolutionizing education with our amazing Dr. Inga Karchilova, the head of IIU Europe. So, what to say at the end? A really amazing and unique event, the second IIU Europe International Conference on the new vision for European teachers in education, the event for all educators around the globe, organized by International Internship University. First and foremost, I want to thank our great project director, Mrs. Inga, on your great project. There are no words to express the gratitude to our guest speakers, the valuable time and enriching us with their thoughts. Thank you all for this day. Thank you so much. And there is
1 minute, my dear. And I so proud of you and applause. You're very amazing, Professor Dr. Nada Ratkovic. You are doing a great job. Wow, thank you so much. Perfect job. Well done.
Yes, because the team of IIU is always supportive, and we have a person behind the success also of today's event who is continuously guiding us, motivating us, and putting in the best. Our dear founder of IIU, Sir Piyush Pandit.
Yes.
Our words are not sufficient to express our heartfelt gratitude. Thank you, amazing and lovely audience on the Facebook, listening, watching us, and for being a part of our conference. I will put now the link for the certificates and what to say. IIU is the change. IIU brings the change. IIU is the revolution. Be the change with IIU. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for being with us on the second conference, international conference of IIU Europe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, everyone. Wow.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for bringing all of us together today. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so we are finishing.
Yes.